Good afternoon and a warm welcome to everyone to today's webinar. Colleagues, my name is IK and I am not just here alone. I'm here with the facilitator for today's webinar, which is also the Triple D Provincial Manager for KZN, who is Sibongile Sibanda. Colleagues, I'm just going to run through how the webinar is going to run today, and then I'm going to hand over to Sibo. Sibo, please, can you put your your slides on presentation mode, and please go to the next page. Thank you. All right, a warm welcome to everyone, and if you are joining us today, thank you so much, and a warm welcome. Today is the maiden edition of the webinar, and today we are also joined by Bongekile. Bongekile is also supporting the KZN team. So Bongekile and myself are actually going to be co-facilitating behind the scene while we allow Sibo to facilitate. Colleagues, please. This is the maiden edition for KZN webinars, and please listen as I take out time to just explain how the webinar is going to be run for today. If you lose signal during the course of this webinar session, please do not worry. You can click the link. Please, Sibo, go. Yes, please. Thanks. You can click the link and join the session again. However, if you click the link and maybe network was an issue and you cannot join, please do not be dismayed. We are going to be sending you the pack, which includes the link, because we know that you were not able to register. So we are going to be sending you the link, and also we are going to be putting together the attendance register based on everyone that attended today. Also, if you have any question in the course of the webinar, colleagues, please use the chat option. There's a chat option. Just click on the chat and type your question, even as the facilitator is facilitating. Myself and Bongikile will be assisting to respond to your question. However, if the question responded to you is not clear to you and you still feel that you need clarity, you can then use the raising hand function and raise your hand, and you'll be given access to speak during the Q&A session. Also, colleagues, we value your feedback. So towards the end of the session, we'll be actually putting up the feedback polls. Please engage with this, as we are actually going to be taking the feedback, as this is also going to be included in your feedback is going to actually steer us in the right direction in the subsequent webinar. Sibo, please go to the next slide. Thank you. Colleagues, also please note that the Triple D webinars are recorded and published on our Triple D YouTube channel. This allows other education officials who are not here at this time to access the recording in their own time and benefit from the content provided. However, should you have any questions or concern, please do not hesitate to contact our Triple D help desk. Colleagues, right now, I'm going to hand over to Sibongile Sibanda to take us through the session for today. Thank you. Sibo, you are mute. Thank you.
My apologies about that. Sanibonani, and I welcome you all to the first KZN webinar. We have been having different webinars, but I think this is the first one that we are only going to have officials from KZN, and it is the first of many more webinars that are going to be coming. So I'm pretty excited about this opportunity, and I just want to thank you all for having time to come and be part of this webinar. So in today's webinar, we just want to take us back to the basics. And the reason why we want to go to the basics, I think it's we have deactivated some of the users, and some of the users now, they cannot log on to the Triple D dashboard. So we then found it was important that we pause and take us back to how we get to log onto the dashboard or how do we reset our passwords, and some of the tips that comes with the login, and the basic navigation, and understanding the summary page. But before I continue, if you try and log on after the session to the dashboard and you realize that you have been deactivated, we do encourage you to contact our respective district EMIS officers and be given a form where we need to put our details, and then have it approved by our supervisors or our direct line manager. Then we take it back to EMIS, then they'll give us the username and password. What do we need for us to be able to log onto the dashboard? We'll need internet, which is the connectivity. We'll need an internet browser. You will require a username and a password. As I had indicated, if you no longer have a username or you have forgotten your username or password, those are the steps that we are going to take you through. But should you not have a username or you haven't used the dashboard before, you are more than welcome to contact the district EMIS officers and then be given a form that you can have your username and password created for you. When we log onto the dashboard, we go to the browser. So we do encourage us to use Google Chrome or Internet Explorer. So when you get to that browser, then you type in www.dbe-dashboard.co.za. As you can see, it's DBE Dashboard. I always want to emphasize the DBE, which is our department, which is, so this dashboard has got our data. So it's one of our tools that we can use to support us with any reporting and to do any other interventions that we might need to do, or even to have data-driven conversations within our different spaces of work where we operate from. So we also encourage you to go to the browser, not when you get to Google, to come and search from this point, because you will not have fruitful results should you search for DBE Dashboard, dbe-dashboard.co.za from this search Google. We would rather use the browser instead. And when you type in www.dbe-dashboard.co.za, this is the landing page of the dashboard. So you will get to a page that is written, "Welcome to Data-Driven Districts website." And it has a lot of information about the work that we have done before, about the impact, some of the users, and the information for dashboard users. You'll find there is information for circuit managers, the information for curriculum officials, and if there are any other releases that will be coming or our journey as a program, that information is available on our landing page. What do you then need to do? So you will need to click onto this button that is written "Log On." When you click onto that button, this is where you will end up. So it will require your username and password. So let me just briefly explain the username process. So it will normally, it's your first name and your surname, and in between there's a dot, and this username is case sensitive. So should you put spaces between your name dot space your surname, that you will not be able to successfully log onto the dashboard. So it's your username and your surname. Sibongile.Sibanda, that's my username, and it depends how it was created. some have 2 or 3 names, and their usernames has been created with initials. So you have the 3 initials dot your surname. There are no spaces in between. So when your username has been created, it comes with a password. So this password has your first name and some random numbers. So your first name, my first name would be Sbongile, and I'll have about 6 numbers then that I need to put on as my password. If I want to verify if I have captured correctly, I can use this I that is here and then confirm that I have put my name correctly and my and the numbers. Then I close it, then I click login. Then I click log on, and then we'll get to the next phase. So immediately after you have logged on, you will be asked to change your password. But before we get to that, some of us have even forgotten our usernames. So if you have forgotten your username, you will come right underneath where your username is supposed to be populated, and you say you have forgotten your username. Some would have forgotten their passwords, and then you also come and click where it says I forgot my password. The reason why we sometimes forget our passwords is we have a lot of information that we put passwords on, and sometimes we do encourage you to change the first password that you receive when you get your username, so that you can put it to a more friendly password that you always remember. Or even when you are done the process, just to save your password, so that every time you go onto the DDD page, you'll be able to log on. So if you have forgotten your username, this is what you get. When you type in, I have forgotten my username, it prompts you to put your email address. And this is also another critical piece that we also need to observe. I will show you later, but when we create the username, there is a requirement that you put your email address. Email addresses, but when we then want to change this to put the email, we end up not sure which email address we used, whether it's work email address or personal email addresses. So even that is also a limitation on the communication that you receive from DDD. So if you have using your work email address and you only have access to the internet while you are at work, it means when you try to access certain information on the DDD dashboard, it immediately sends to your work email address. So should you be at home and you want to access something or a report that is emailed to your email address, you will find that you might then need to wait until you get to work. So alternatively, you can use your personal email that you can always have access to the information that will be available on the dashboard. If you have forgotten your password, the process is simple. You just need to put your username. My username is Bonglesbanda. Then I will click where it says reset password. And when I click where it says reset password, it will then immediately generate another password, and that password will be sent to my email address. So when you have requested any changes, you will receive an email, dear user. Then they will put your username, your password, and the entity. So the entity, when we talk about the entity, is the level at which you can access the dashboard. Some of us can access dashboard from school level. Some of us can access the dashboard from second level. or from CNC level, from district level, and from provincial level. What that means is whenever you log on, should it be at a circuit level, you can only view your circuit, not the next circuit. So your information is limited to what you can what you would have requested access for. So like I indicated, we don't need to put spaces between the name and the surname, and also that the password comes with your first name and some random numbers, and those normally are in lower cases. And should you log on and you create your own password, we do encourage you to we have just the simple rules. Either they are alphanumerical or they are numbers only, but they should be more than 8 characters. So it's as per your own discretion what you want to change your password to. And if you are using your laptop or your tablet or your phone, when you make these changes, it immediately asks you if you want to make changes or if you want to continue with the same password, and then you can save every time you log onto the dashboard. That would be available for you. So this is the process of changing the password. So when you change the password, you will have to reconfirm that is the password that you want to change to. So we do, sometimes the internet connectivity is slow. The moment you click change, you might need to wait for those changes to be made. We do discourage colleagues from clicking on the change button more than once, because sometimes you might not then realize that you would have made the changes while you because of how your browser would be responding. And it is easier when you have received your email with your username and password to copy and paste. So if you have your username sibongile.sibanda, I go and copy that from the email and put it on the browser so that I don't make any mistakes, and also copy the password and also put it on the password tab. Then I log in, then make necessary changes. So this is the process of resetting your password. So we can also change the passwords from the dashboard. How do we do that? So whenever you are created, like I indicated, it depends at what level you are given access for. And when you are given that access, when you open the dashboard, you will have this landing page, and you also have this black street. We want to call it the black street because it's easier to remember, but there's this black strip where you can find different icons. So there is one that is here right at the end, is the setting button. When you click on the setting button, it will prompt you to go to my account. So when you get to your account, and it also tells you you are logged on as somebody else with your name. And for this presentation, I'm logged on as Musa Semelani. Musa is one of our team members, and he was supposed to be with us in this webinar. So just to verify that that is your correct account. Sometimes when we create these usernames and passwords, we'll realize that we have misspelled your name or your surname. Should you have that issue, we can also deactivate your account and give you the correct username and password, so that we can also make trends and see how often you've been using the dashboard, and make one person to be accessing the same account with the correct details. So when you get to your account, it's going to give you this information. You can then verify. Remember, I talked about the email addresses that we need to use. So there is Musa's email address, which is the work address, and the entity. The specialization is also important. You will be prompted to capture the specialization where you are at and your designation. So it's just a small process just to verify that your information that has been captured is correct. And then we'll also require your cell phone number. The reason why we need these details is so that when we send communication, even for the webinars, we can just select a group of people. If we are targeting school users, we are going to just select all the principals or everyone that is linked at a school that has got a dashboard account, or non-school users, which is then our circuit management going up to the provincial level. Then we tailor make the communication to send to those different type of people. So when you are requested to fill in this information, it's purely for that purpose, so that when we send outcomes, it arrives, it gets to the right people. Then right at the bottom, it then says to you, change your password. Then you can change that password and you confirm. You put the current password first, then you put the new password and you confirm that new password. And then you save those changes. So now we move on to the tips summary. So I have indicated some of these tips that you need to place the address in the address bar, not on the search when you get to Google Chrome. Then the password is case sensitive and there shouldn't be any spaces between your username and password except the dot. And then the new password should be alphanumerical or numerical, and then at least be 8 characters long. And we shouldn't double click when we make the changes of the password. Then also we can copy and paste from the email that would have been sent to us confirming our username and password to minimize the errors that we might be having, we might end up having when we're trying to log on to the dashboard. I spoke about the black street. So the black street, that like we want to call it, is just to give us the basic navigations of where, if you're looking for certain information, which button do you press? How do you get to the summary page? So this is the dashboard page that you have, and on the black street, right at the left corner, you have this coat of arms. So sometimes we get to the dashboard and we look for different information and we feel stuck, like, I'm lost, I don't know where to go to. So if you are logged on from KZN page and you happen to have searched your information at a school level, or somehow you want to come back to the KZN page and you don't know how to do that, we encourage you to just click the home button and you end up back where you should be, which is the landing page. Then we also have an option to search for a school. For instance, I am wearing a circuit manager hat, and I want to look for one school, maybe Greytown High School. And instead of trying to think where exactly do I go, I can just come to this. This looks like a racket, right? To this circle and then type in on the keyword here and type Greytown High School and then search. that school will also come up. And we have been requested to submit data from maybe for grade 10 for the past 3 years, or for grade 3 for the past 3 years, or even to submit, as a school to the circuit or district or province, and you're trying to crack your head to find out where exactly do I find this information. You can come here. This is where you search for the different years and terms, then you apply. I will then show you this on a live demo that we're going to do later, but these are just some of the basic navigation tips that you can use. Then if I am in term 1 2018 and I need to move on to term 4 or term 3 2017, I can simply use this arrow, this backward arrow. And if I want to, should I be on a different screen or on reports and I want to go back to summary, I can use this also, this button that is available on the summary page. And yeah, that's the pretty much about the basic navigation, how to change our passwords and how to change how to request for another username if we have forgotten our usernames. Now I'm going to move on to the live demo, but if you've got questions that you might be having, or there's something that you need to be repeated, like what IK said, you are more than welcome to then put your chats in the chat comment and they will respond to you. But before we get to the end of this webinar, we will give you an option to ask questions and we can address them. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Sibo. While you are navigating to the live demo, colleagues, I just want to say, if you have any questions, comment, contribution, please put your questions on the chat box. I'll be actually supporting you to respond to that. However, if there's anything that Sibo has alluded to or spoken and you are not clear about it, right, you can also request for that to be repeated. I'm going to pause here and allow Sibo to continue. Thank you so much.
Thank you, IK. As I indicated earlier on, this is where we need to capture the dashboard site, www.dbe-dashboard.co.za, and we will land on this page. Now this is the live demo of how we get to the dashboard. It says, welcome to the data-driven district's website. Like I indicated, there is information for school officials, for curriculum officials, circuit and district managers. So we then get to a place where we need to log on, and then it opens this page where it requires me to put my username and my password. So for me, like I indicated earlier on, that you can also save that information. So for me, that information is already saved, my username and password. So if I have forgotten my username, this is where I come to. If I have forgotten my password, then I log on. So when I log on, I will land on the KZN page. And the reason why I am on this page is we work across the 12 districts. So you will see that some of our directors at provincial level will have access to KZN, and some of our curriculum officials that works in more than one district will also have access to the KZN landing page. So now this is the landing page, the black street that we have been talking about, that I indicated. So for instance, I want to search, I'll start by searching, then we'll see how we move back to where I was. So I said earlier on, we can search for a school. So I can search for Greytown School. If I just capture Greytown, everything that is written Greytown will pop up, and then I'll have to select what is it that I need. And sometimes I also have to verify if it's Greytown High School, is this the, sometimes I can also verify if this is the correct EMS number. Because if we look at all these are Greytowns, right? We've got junior school, and then primary school, high school, and secondary school. Sometimes high school and secondary school might be the same, might fall under the same bracket, but then we can also verify with the EMIS code that this is actually what I need, right? So as you can see, now I'm at Greytown High School. I have moved from wherever that I was, and I'm now thinking, how then do I go back to the landing page of where I was without confusing myself? I indicated that we need to use this button, this coat of arms. It's the home page. So quickly, how do I get out of Greytown High School and go back to my landing page? So if I click on the home page, I'll come back to the landing page. So we are in term 1, term 2, 2021, and I need to look at the information for 2019 term 1. This is a quicker way of how I can move back between terms. So I know that, like I indicated, that we support some of the officials with reports on the performance of schools that goes back to 3 years or to even 5 years. For as long as a school has been uploading the information on the dashboard, you will be able to find that data. So as you can see, we also have information for some of our schools from as far as 2015. So we can still find that information by just changing the years and changing the terms. Okay, so term 1, 2019, and I want to move back, and I might need to move forward to term 2. I can easily click. If I put my cursor on top of this button, it tells me that I will be displaying information for term 2, 2019. If I click that, how then am I certain that this information is correct as how it was projected? I can also verify here, displaying term 2, 2019. So that's another way of navigating the dashboard. And we did indicate earlier on that once you are logged onto the dashboard and I need to reset my password from the one that I've been using to a new password, or sometimes we are prompted, sometimes we will get messages from the dashboard to say, or it's after 6 months, or it's after 12 years, please, 12 months, sorry. Then we need to change from the old password. I can just come to my account, and this is the information that I'll have. And again, my details are captured here so that I can be part of the report that gives details about the users in our province. If I want to change my password, I'll have to click on this change password. Then again, I need to put the current new password and then confirm that password again. Then we change the password. So in a nutshell, this is the basic dashboard navigation that we needed to take you through. And again, I will still emphasize that the reason why we got to be doing this webinar, we will have another session where we're going to have the same, where we take officials through the same process because of the maintenance that was done, where we cleared the information about the users that had not logged on to the dashboard for a while, which then needs to go back to the district offices to get the information, to get the form and capture, and then they have their username and password recreated. Should we be not part of that list and we have forgotten the password, we just wanted you to see that it is easy. You can go back and you reset your password, or request for your username if you had forgotten it. But what is then important is to have a working or functional email address, the email address that you can easily check whenever you make those requests. So I will pause here for now and open up for questions and answers before we round up our webinar. And also, maybe before we get to that piece, this is the first webinar of so many webinars that we are going to have in the province. So at the end, we are going to put up a poll where you can rate this first webinar and also tell us what is it that you want to see more. So should you have certain reports that you want to see, you want to understand, or how the information, the data that is on DDD can help you to make your work easier, you are more than welcome to let us know what is it that you need. Then we can also have different types of webinars for different types of stakeholders. If you're a curriculum, sometimes we might need to do curriculum specific. Sometimes we might even need to separate the GET band and FET. Sometimes we might need to focus on schools. Sometimes we might need to focus on exams. But this platform is not going away, and I think it is there to support us. Should you feel that you didn't grasp everything now for today, you will get a recording, you will get this presentation, you can go through it, but also over and above that, you can also tell us what is your pain point, what is it that you need to see when you open the dashboard. We are here to assist. So I'll open up for questions now. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Sibongile. Thank you so much for that informative session. Colleagues, I have just put up the link to the poll questions. You are free to actually respond to it. I'll be monitoring the rate of the response. All you need to do, just permit me to share my screen. All you need to do is just click on the poll. Immediately you click on the poll, it's going to give you something like this. And I'm just showing you this now. Just hold on. I'm just going to share my screen now so you can see what is actually going to show you. It's going to show you straight what the poll looks like. Permit me to just share my screen so I can just show you what the poll looks like. I'm just going down to the poll so I don't, yeah, this is it. So this is what the poll looks like. I hope everyone can see. Then you can just go down, respond to the poll questions. The last question is so interesting because it says, are there any topics you would like to be covered in future webinars? This is where we need you to type. What are those burning topics that you want clarity on? You can put that here, and then you can then submit your poll once you are done filling the poll. Okay. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask the questions here, and then we'll be able to clarify. If you still cannot get to the poll, please let us know. You can raise your hand, you can put a chat, then we'll be able to respond. Sibo, you can please put your slide back and you can show them there. Okay, I can see a hand up. Bongnis Monday, I can see that your hand is up. I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak, so please go stay close to your mic. I have just allowed you to speak, so you can go ahead and speak, sir. Just unmute yourself. I can see that you are muted. Unmute yourself.
I thought you were going to unmute me. You said you're
great. Thank you so much.
Was it unmuted me? I wanted to ask where is the link? You're talking about the poll, but then I didn't understand where to find the link.
Okay, I have just put the link on the chat box. So where the chat box is, you will see the link. Just click on the link.
Okay.
Yes,
right,
just click on the link there. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. If you don't understand anything or you are not sure of anything, this is an opportunity for you to please raise your hand and then you'll be allowed to speak. Okay, I can see Mr. Pilay's hand is up. I'm going to give you the mic to speak now. Just a second. I'm just coming to you now. All right, I have just allowed you to speak. Unmute yourself and please speak.
Thank you, IK. It's actually Mrs. Pillay, not Mr. Pillay.
Apologies, ma'am.
Okay, no, anyway, I saw the link below. I'm clicking on it, but it's not taking me anywhere, not doing anything. So I don't know. Maybe it's on my side. I'm not too sure.
Okay, I'm just going to try and post that same link again. Apologies, I'm going to post that same link again. Immediately I clicked on the link, it took me straight to the poll. So I'm going to post that link again. Just going to the chat box to post it again. Okay, so Zandile said the link is not responding. I'm going to post it again. I have posted it again. Please, can we try one more time? I'm sure this would work out now. And please, if you are still struggling, let me know, please. And if you are not struggling, you can give the thumbs up, or you can just put on the chat that it is working. While we are actually waiting for the polls, colleagues, is there any question based on the presentation? Any comment? Hector, I can see your hand. Oh, someone said still not working. Wow. Okay. I think we would have to send this information. I'm shocked that the link is still not working. Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the feedback around this. I see a hand up. I'm really shocked why it's not working. Hector, I see your hand up. I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak now. Please, Hector, you can speak.
Thank you, Chair. You're speaking to Hector Nimalo from Zululand District. Thank you for the presentation. I've got a few comments. If you go to DDD via Google, it's perfect. Sometimes there are emails that are sent daily onto our email addresses, whereby we have to log on. In the past, it used to give us problems, but these days, as from Friday, it was easy now to log on. Before, we used to get a log on window, which allowed us to log on, where it says, email us, you've forgotten your password, or log on. But now it doesn't give us the log on option. So where do you find the log on option? You go to the left top. There are 3 buttons on the left top. When you click those 3 left buttons, then it gives you option. And the log on button will be at the bottom. So if you click that log on, then you go straight to whatever information you need. So I have been playing around and I discovered that we have changed it to that setup. But also, what I would like to say now, which is not part of today's presentation, is at times it frustrates us that the schools, maybe it's on our side, the schools don't upload the information. Then you go to that, let's say, subject performance, and you get nothing. Like currently, if you go to subject, you can access every other information, like which school has improved a lot, it will give you. But when you go to subject performance, it scrolls forever. You download the whatever grade you want, but then when you want, it says open it. You click open, and it scrolls forever and ever and ever, and doesn't give you, especially for term 2. I'm not sure if this is because there were disturbances due to COVID, that we don't have term 2 results, especially in Zululand. So I haven't been accessing that part, which is term 2, which we need at the beginning of each and every term, so as to plan ahead how to assist the school. Otherwise, if the information is uploaded, it is very useful to me. And I thank you for the Triple T. It's so useful to me, provided on our side we upload the information. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I think I would allow Sibo to respond to that while I just assist those for the feedback polls.
Thank you, Mr. Numalo, for raising for your comments. We do appreciate your feedback, and also taking time to go through the dashboard to navigate until you are able to log on and also share that information with other colleagues. I do appreciate your feedback regarding the uploading of information onto Triple D. So currently, schools, districts are still collecting term 2 databases. I think if you look at term 2, there isn't anything that has been uploaded. That's a lot. So I think we have less than 200 schools from the 12 districts. We're hoping that from the 20th of August going forward, we would be able to have the information that will help you with the analysis of the performance of different subjects or the performance of grades. So currently we don't have that because of the process that we have, and we hoping that that process will improve so that you will have data as soon as it's finalized at school level. I hope that answers or addresses your concerns.
Yeah, thank you very much, especially for the part that it's because schools have not uploaded, because I was wondering how come am I not accessing the subject performance? And I suspected that it might be the fact that the schools have not uploaded. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much, Sibo, and thank you so much, Hector, for that question. Colleagues, I'm going to show you now how to actually put the polls in your page so you can actually access the poll. So if you copy this link, the link that I sent, just permit me to share my screen. I'm just going to share my screen now. Then you can just do what I have just done, and you'll be able to get to the link. So I'm just going to go straight to one of the, okay. Yes, so this is what I'm talking about. So once you go here, you click on a new page, right? You have this page. Now copy that link and put it here. You put the link here, right? And you click on enter. Immediately you click on enter, this is what you would see. So can we just do that while the session is going on? Then you can just now fill everything and submit. Pilar said she has actually done it and it's working. So please, can we go through that and we are able to fill that poll? Is it, please tell me if it's working. If it's not working, let me know. But I've gotten a feedback that it is working. So copy it and just put it there, and then you'll be able to respond to the poll. I'm going to stop sharing so Sibo can put the slide on, and we can go to, she can speak to, if you have questions, comments, who do you contact? Thank you, Sibo.
Okay, colleagues, my mic was on mute. I have indicated before that should you need any support, should you need a new username or just some assistance on how to log on, or some other questions or support that you might require regarding the dashboard, please feel free to contact the district EMIS offices, where you can speak to our officials and they'll gladly support you. Or alternatively, you can then contact the DDD Dashboard Help Desk, and that is the email address help@dbe-dashboard.co.za, and there's a cell phone number that is there where you can then call or send an email. So what happens is when you send an email that is KZN related or specific to our users, Wangekile and I will be sent that communication to say, for instance, somebody has requested the analysis of the performance of grade 11 in term 1 2021, and you need support on how to put that information together. Wangekile and I will be sent that email and will reach out to the colleague or the official that would have made that request. Or should you be struggling with any other dashboard related query or issues, we will get back to you when information has been sent. Normally it takes 24 to 48 hours, but we are here to support, and on the help desk, before our support from DDD can really get to support you, Boingile and I are the first point of contact that they send the communication to. So besides the district EMIS office officials and the help desk, we are here to support any issues that you might have. So this is what you can, this is the email and the number that you can use. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Sibo. Colleagues, I'm still waiting and I'm still seeing that people are actually responding to the polls. Please engage in the polls. I can see that 5 people have actually responded to the polls. So please respond to the poll. And some very interesting for Mrs. Pillai. Pillai says, IK, some of my colleagues did not receive the invitation for the DDD webinar. Why is that so? Sibo, would you want to please respond to that? That's a very important feedback. Thank you so much, Mrs. Pillai.
We do apologize for the officials that haven't responded, that haven't received these invites. Like we said at the beginning, this is the first webinar that we are having in our province, and we are also learning and on how to do these webinars better. Though we would have hoped to have more officials. So I think what is then important is to know how to communicate effectively going forward. So like I indicated, we do have a report that has got different users and their email addresses, and normally that comes from the invite comes from DDD. So going forward, we'll also send that invite from DDD, and we'll also send the same invite from the WhatsApp groups, and also use our districts to communicate when we are going to have the next webinar. So tentatively our next webinar should happen on the 25th. So prior to that, we will maybe give ourselves a week to then prepare and make sure that all the officials received the invite.
All right. Thank you so much, SIBO colleagues. Before I call the two people that are raising their hands, I just want to remind us to please engage with the polls. Your feedback is very important in the planning of the subsequent webinars that are coming. Lazi, I can see your hand. I'm just allowing you to speak. Please unmute yourself. After then, I would actually give Hector the access to speak. Lazi, please unmute yourself and go ahead.
No, thank you very much, IK. It's nothing much to me. It's just a request that we review question 3 on your opinion poll. Question 3.
Thank you so much. That is
Yeah.
well noted. Thank you so much, Lazi. I'm going to now give Hector the opportunity to speak now.
Thank you, Chair. Concerning the webinar, I often get invitation from other provinces to join. For instance, I would get an invitation from Gauteng or Western Cape saying I must join the webinar, which is not necessarily my province. So at times I can participate in the other provinces' webinar. So I'm sure colleagues are also getting such things if they are linked with the DPE kind of a thing, because I always get a lot of invitation from other provinces to join. It's just that I wanted to share with you. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. I just reviewed, thank you so much, Hector. Just to respond to you, it's no knowledge is actually lost. So if you see that the invitation that you get, the topic is relevant to you, you can easily join if you are free and you want to join. We also hold the DDD national webinars on Thursdays and Fridays, and we send invitations to everyone. So if you're also free during that time, you can also join. No knowledge, no information is lost. I just reviewed the questions that was just spoken about. Question 3, it says, would you need additional training on this subject? So it's just saying that based on the subject, do you understand it, or would you need additional training on the subject? I'm going to give Bongi's one Monday. Sorry, I want to give you the access to please speak. Unmute yourself and please you can speak. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ike. My request is very small. The invitation that we got didn't stipulate the time correctly. So can the next webinar stipulate it correctly? Specify whether it's 3 o'clock to 4, not 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. There was like a confusion on the times. That's why we log on very early, and then we were disturbed, and that's why there was maybe connection problems.
Thank you so much. Before I allow Sibo to respond to you, I like the engagement and I like the way everyone is voicing, because this webinar is yours. It's for KZN, right? So all your feedbacks are very important to us. I know something happened, but I'm going to allow the provincial manager, Sibo, to explain where that confusion happened. But we have actually taken the lessons learned. As Sibo said, these are teaching times. It's the first time. Mistakes and errors are welcome, but we are actually going to structure it better. Sibo, over to you, please.
So I also want to apologize for that, because I think you're from Pinetown, and there was a link that initially said 2 to 3. Then that was changed, and because of other requests that came from other colleagues to say they would be available from 3 to 4. But I think collectively we'll need to get to a point where we find the suitable time for us to be having these webinars. Is it 2 to 3? Is it 3 to 4? I think there will be a survey that will come, and I think please give us indication on which days are better and what times can we then do these webinars, because we don't want to pull you away from your day-to-day activities. That is the reason why we have these in the afternoon. But if 3 to 4 does not work for some of the officials, we are more than welcome to renegotiate and have times that suits everybody. So for this particular incident, please bear with us. We will do better next time.
All right, thank you so much. I'm looking at the time, colleagues, and I don't want to keep us. We communicated 1 hour, and I don't want to keep us. But I really enjoyed the participation. I really enjoyed the engagement, and I'm so happy that, you know, irrespective of the errors that we have, it was a successful session. I'm just in closing trying to read what Ms. Pillai said. He said, thank you so much for the information. This was really successful. The manner in which you manage the webinar is excellent and so professional. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you so much, colleagues. On that note, from my side, I want to say thank you so much for taking out to join. I know each and every one of you are very busy, but you took out time to actually honor the invitation. Thank you so much. Invitations are going to be sent for the subsequent one. From my side, thank you so much and see you on the next one. I'm going to allow Sibongile to close, then we'll call it a day. Thank you so much.
So I think allow me to thank each official that has managed to join this webinar. We do appreciate your feedback. We do appreciate your participation, and we're looking forward to having more sessions where we engage. And I think the basic, the foundation where we're getting to with these webinars is so that we can also support you in making sure that we have data-driven conversations using the dashboard to analyze the performance of our learners. So we do appreciate you taking time from your busy schedules to be part of these webinars, and we're looking forward to having you in another sessions. Thank you so much.